Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Wolfpack, Season 1, Episode 3.
Origin Point.
And that is because they met up at the origin
near
point.
it.
Found.
Yeah.
Blake ran face first into emergency response people near
Well, it was
point.
where the four of them met up
Mhm.
together. Yeah. But
And
it's
they ran away.
But it was like an accident.
Mhm.
They just didn't know why.
No, I understand that.
But now there's been witnesses, and so they are being questioned, but not arrested.
I mean, that's a thing.
Yeah, it is, but the fucking cops, man.
Also a thing. Nothing but evidence to the contrary. I am still enjoying it. I think
this is my favorite episode so far.
I think I feel the most in at this point. There are still a handful of elements that I find slightly baffling. Baffling isn't the word. I don't know. There's something that I can't pinpoint. I don't know if it's tone or there's something that's just not fully there.
Mhm.
But I'm interested. So we picked up where we left off last week. Kristen Ramsey and her bad cop. I don't know.
Well, he's not as bad as Trent.
He's not bad as Trent Miller,
but his name is Detective Jang.
R.I.P. Trent Miller.
Rest in full suffering.
I just mean that he's dead. That he is dead. I'm curious how big this goes or how deep this goes. Because the werewolf is clearly not trying to kill them.
Yeah, certainly not after this episode, for sure. And
it seems like it was... Do you think it was going after Trent Miller, or do you think it just happened upon him and decided to...
Well, if we're going off the theory that it is actively trying to protect the kids, then it went after Trent Miller because he was using excessive force against Harlan. Smashing him into the walls of his own home.
So Kristen Ramsey brings them in. I love whenever Sarah Michelle Gellar is on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I know our millennial brains are programmed to release serotonin when that happens. But she seems like she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
So much so that now I'm wondering if she's the werewolf.
We haven't seen them in the same place together yet.
Based on how it went after Trent Miller.
Sure. It's not their real dad. It's not Harlan and Luna's real dad. It's their real mom.
Well, again, I'm like, why are we certain we're only dealing with one?
Sure, also, yes. I mean, it's looked the same every time.
And there's still, well, we may have only seen one, but that doesn't mean that
that there's not another out there.
And I think that that's separate than whoever is calling them. So, I don't know, but they brought them into question. Well, I can't remember if we opened up before that, but we had a scene with the other kids. We did open up with that. Some of the other kids. I really liked...
Austin, Phoebe, Tia, and Cyrus.
I really liked what they did. I kind of want more all around. Like, I kind of want more scenes with the other kids. And I kind of want to punch up some of their stuff. I find Phoebe hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't have a very specific, thing to point to. But she just has this... It's one of my favorite qualities that a character can have in a show, which is audacity.
Yeah.
And she seems kind of... I like that she was in... It's not that she's dumb, but that she was unknowingly in danger at 3 different points.
Uh-huh.
And I am relieved that she survived that encounter.
Her name is Bailey Stender. I think she's pretty
I think the instinct to cast her is also interesting. I like that they went that direction. I was terrified they were going to kill her when we were spending so much time with her leaving to go to the car.
And then all 4 tires getting slashed and everything.
And she managed to get home. And it's stuff like that again, it's just... I just find it funny because what was presumably the werewolf doing? Is he just trying to intimidate her? Is he fucking with her? Or did she actually thwart him by triggering
the alarm?
Yeah. I don't know. And just calling Harlan's phone to cuss out Blake was funny.
Especially because Blake doesn't have a phone, but then also Harlan has Phoebe's address because he fucked her boyfriend in her house. That is diabolical, Harlan.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Diabolical. So rude.
It's stuff like that I want more of. Like, I want more of...
Well, okay, that brings up an interesting point, which my husband said just as he was walking out of the room. I do agree with him. They are very disconnected from having a high school relationship with, like, there's nothing tying them together like the lacrosse that was on Teen Wolf. And it's like, I don't need them to all be like in yearbook club or something, but it's like, we are very disconnected from the high school as a connection point.
So what it's giving me is, as someone who was, you know, kind of a late bloomer, some might say still waiting, I kind of hit a stride midway through senior year. And so it's giving me like they're on their way out of high school.
Sure.
And it's giving me like they kind of had their own things, and it's giving me they're just almost through this thing, and then a coming of age.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's what a lot of supernatural metaphor.
So if that was the case, I wish that this was the summer after graduation.
No.
Because the only issue is that they're not focusing in any real way on the high school part of it, so like that metaphor is getting lost.
Well, we're also 2 days out of, I mean, the school's canceled for a forest fire.
Yeah.
And we're going in real time here, where, you know, a lot of the other supernatural teen shows, an episode is a week.
Yeah.
An episode is a day.
That's not my favorite aspect of this show so far. It's fine, but I do wish a little more time was passing, and maybe it will, but we'll see.
Because it keeps the timeline in real time, and it keeps it fresh. Like, they, as an audience member, we're not filling in blanks in between episodes.
Right.
So it's like they're still just getting to know each other.
Yeah.
In ways that, like I said, in other shows, they could be a month deep at this point.
I agree with that. But you're totally right, too, because, like, if they were a month deep already and Harlan was still acting this way, whereas it's been, like, 36 hours since he met them.
I do like that they are starting to come together.
Well, Luna is all in. Luna and Everett are like, a friend!
She's going full horse girl. When they were bringing them in for the questioning, the police horse was reacting, like, big time to Luna. And I'm unclear if that was actually happening or she was just perceiving that. Because it was like she snapped out of it, and the horse was kind of like, "What's your problem?" Yeah. Whereas when we were sort of more, in her perspective, it was very the painting of the nightmare.
Yeah.
But she is, because we've had Everett has seen the ram, which has not come back up, with the exception of
the statues.
Garrett Rodriguez and Goro had like 6 ram statues in his office that were backlit with red light.
Yeah. Well, it was like red paint and then they had like gallery lighting.
Okay.
It was like in a little cutout alcove, painted red on the back with lighting.
So we have that, and that it obviously means something, but I can't wait to find out what. And I almost made a joke, and I kind of wish I had, but there was a moment where the show threatened us with something happening, and I was like, it's going to be another animal fake out. I was like, this time it's a walrus. But no, her horse thing, it flared up again when they were in the stable.
Yeah.
And she fell to pieces trying to help Harlan get the safe, which they were also like, no shit. They were really mad that it was a silver bullet.
Well, I get it. Well, and also I would say Rodrigo Santoro sold that scene the best, obviously, but I get it. Like, if he needed to protect himself against feral werewolves, and it's like, I feel like we're going to get there in the next episode, that it's like he didn't get them just for him, or for them. And also, like, there's something out there stalking. Like, it could be for whatever. I think it's better safe than sorry, but it's going to really add some fish to the chips on Harlan's shoulder.
Sure. So I do keep coming back to the questioning. Nothing really happened other than, well, actually a significant thing happened in that they realized they could all brain meld.
Yeah.
But it seems like they can't always do it.
It might be, well, Luna seemed to say that they would be back to normal after the full moon. So like even their like extra powers only work like seemingly in the moonlight, because when Blake was trying to run super fast, but it was day and Danny was helping her, she couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like
Well, and
it's
also
like the nights of the full moon.
the first fantasy sex scene with Blake and it didn't bother me. I liked it with Blake and Everett. She was staring directly at the moon.
Yeah. I just don't. They're making some pairings that are real interesting, because Luna was making eyes at Austin, and I mean, I guess I like could think about that more, but we don't really know him. I don't know. I think they're going a weird direction. I just don't think Blake and Everett have much chemistry.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But they did. Well, when I brought up the brain melding, it like my point is, it seems like they could only do it when they were in that heightened situation.
Probably,
like they weren't doing it at the house later.
Yeah, that's probably like a thing to train. Like you just like try to do it when you're not in a heightened situation.
Other than that, it just Kristen Ramsey still is very level-headed and very much she's got her eye on the prize, and it's very slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
Like everyone else is literally following for every shiny object that like enters their periphery, and she's like, no.
Well, like
I'm staying.
Even Officer Jang was like banging on the cage in between like in the squad car or whatever, and then Officer Trent Miller was just totally harassing Harlan, and she did say, if you ever touch anyone again, you're off the task force. And I'm like, you could also just be like hard fired, but
then
baby steps. But then he did
someone again, went after them, and then the werewolf, because then that's the thing, the werewolf killed him.
Yeah.
It didn't animal instinct attack him. It certainly didn't kill him to eat.
No.
Because it toyed with him first.
Yeah.
It shows. He
was murdered. With full malice of forethought. I do think that is interesting.
I don't actually think it's her. I think something is going on with her, and I think she's part of it. But that third episode, you always got to throw like a wild one out there.
Course,
I'm like, maybe it's her. I'm not sure. I am enjoying it. I'm the most in. I still am a little bit perplexed that this is what they're doing with these pieces. But, and we're also, because the show also is unsure whether or not Connor is
dead or
alive. Yeah. He's missing. And.
Yeah. Everything else potentially aside about Kristen Ramsey, I think she's good at her job.
I also like that she's not falling for the other cops' bullshit.
Yes,
like, she's not taking their
100%
bait.
that. She's like, nice try. And she also, she was and has been trying to put Everett at ease.
Mm-hmm.
Like the white noise machine and stuff, and she's trying to like connect with him. I sort of like that. I absolutely loved it when Garrett showed up and was like, my kids are leaving. And then Luna was like, they have to come with us. And so they took all of them, and then it smash cuts to Everett just being like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. What the fuck? Because he's been literally dying to talk to somebody about this for 2 whole days. So that was pretty great. I don't know. I liked this episode the best so far. I'm with you. I do feel like something is still like missing or melding or like still trying to come together, but
and I don't know how much of that is just we haven't uncovered the story, or there's something in production that's slightly off. But I'm like I said, I'm enjoying my werewolf shows. It's been a minute.
It's fun.
So okay. Well, I guess on that note, who's Cyrus?
The other boy from the that said you can talk about my asshole.
Oh, so Phoebe's ex-boyfriend, maybe? No.
Well,
I think he was on.
He said he's gay. If he was gay the whole time, and then it just took Harlan sleeping with him to break up with her, then she's a little in the wrong. But I don't know.
Phoebe could never be wrong. I think she's wrong quite frequently. So, all right. Like and subscribe. Let us know what you think. Unless we don't like what you think, and then don't let us know. And hopefully we see you back next week.
Bye.
I don't know the theme song enough to sing it.
It's just like kind of like vibey.
I went into the Buffy Angel song.
Oh,
Sufferance of
catharsis of sufferance. It's so perfect.